Damn, I got you by a little bit.
Shant, how many rings does it usually take until you pick up? Are we talking 2, 4?
3.
2, 1. It's Shant and Ari podcast, you guys. Episode number 52. Happy 1-year anniversary, Abe.
Yeah, it's actually 1 year and a week because we missed a week, but we should have a cake, some balloons, something, dude. This is embarrassing.
What a week anniversary. Did you get me anything?
No, it's actually Betty's birthday tomorrow. I got to get her something. Shit, I forgot. Jesus. I've been bad. No, anniversary gift for you. Nothing for Betty.
Did Arizona, are restaurants still open, or did they shut them back down after the peak, after the rise of?
No, they're like 50%. Some shut down. Some are 50% capacity.
So what are you gonna do? Are you guys gonna have like a stay-at-home dinner date tomorrow? You think?
Well, we figured what we might do is hand the baby off to either my mom or Betty's mom for the night, so we could just sleep.
Ah, nice. A little slumber party.
Like actually get to sleep.
That's a nice anniversary present. Or birthday present. Shouldn't say.
What about you? What's going on, man, in Boston? What are we doing? What's fucking the new COVID? Is there a new strain?
Friends, bachelor parties, and it's getting really, really hard. We can't go anywhere. So now we might go.
Wait, weren't you guys gonna thinking about coming here?
We wanted to until we found out that Arizona was probably the worst place you could ever be.
At least you'd have fun.
And if shit pops off, at least I got family, so at least they can notify other family, like, oh, he's dead, but feel free to come here and stay at our house for the funeral. But lots of interesting stuff been happening lately. My mom's been working at the store. Ani Tanti's been wrapping sandwiches, making dinner plates, stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Answering the phone here and there. Hello? That kind of shit.
She should be there, man. She's so friendly and
It's a defense mechanism, wouldn't you say? Like Armenian, moms, like fob moms, being nice is their defense mechanism.
But to what? What is she defensive about?
Comfortable, so they've got to be extra nice to you because that's just how they're that's just how they defend themselves.
Yeah, maybe.
Please, honey, please, yes. I'm just he doesn't even speak any English.
Well, but no, your mom is she should be there. And anyway, the name of the restaurant is Ani, so I mean, it just makes sense for her. They see two dudes in the back, and it's does Ani work here or?
Oh man, especially of lately too, because I have so much facial hair now. So before it was just my dad; he had the mustache, but now I can just look at them with a really mean look, and they don't know who's more aggressive now. They're just looking at them. Me and my dad just.
Yeah, now your mom's probably just. It's good she's there. It's probably a good balance.
Definitely. So really excited about tonight's podcast. Shant, man, we've been doing this not the podcast. We've been dealing with customers, dealing with marketing ourselves for quite some time. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a couple of years at least.
Don't you enjoy watching people just getting started in their...
Yeah, it's funny, seeing my sister-in-laws, they just started, right? And it's I try to tell them all the mistakes I made, right? Hey, trust me, don't do this and you'll be fine. But, it's just they have to make the mistakes, I feel like.
And it's cool that you get to be there so that, okay, let them make the little mistakes, but they never actually get to make the big ones. No, don't write that in an email or no, talk about that.
It's yeah. So that sparked my my interest to like talk about today about our top three, maybe not top, but I like lists. Top three mistakes we made starting out in business.
I enjoy the
And
podcast, the list podcast.
yeah, it's I love lists. Um, so yeah, we should do that. Let's talk about our top three biggest mistakes. And I'm sure I tried thinking about it 10 minutes before we got on. So so uh, so the list might change as you say something, and I'm like, oh shit, no wait, I came up with something better. But so we'll start. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'd love to. So for those of you who know me, for those of you who follow me on social media, you'll know that I love to use my social media to promote my business, whether it be Ani, whether it be BAC. Shant, you've taken a very, very deep liking to the fact that I've completely blown up. I've been blowing up feeds for like 10 years now for both Ani and BAC, just really getting in your face with either
Yeah,
food or content. Lately, it's been more food than
yeah.
BAC content because the BAC content, I'm just YouTube's where it's at. Fuck
Yeah.
putting it on Instagram. Instagram, I just got your attention with like a plate of food.
Yeah, I like the food content better anyway, man.
Right. So I was very good at using Instagram, and that wasn't my mistake. I was really, really good at doing that on my personal page, but what I was never good at was asking for the favor, which now seems to be like a trend, right? Everybody's sharing and like empowering one another. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing to do now is promote somebody else's business in like a I'm not selfish with my story and like I like to help. I never really asked my friends to help me promote my business because it wasn't convenient.
so let me ask you, did you not know to do it, or did you know and just didn't feel right, or just not want to do it? What was the reasoning? That's what I want to know.
I almost stupidly didn't want to ask for the help. I was like it was beneath me to ask for help,
Yeah,
which is fucking stupid because they're also suggesting your business without you knowing it. Like, hey, I've got a
yeah,
buddy who has a takeout place, or hey, I got a buddy that has a car brokerage. Like, listen, they're doing it behind your back. Why wouldn't you just go directly and ask them, hey, you mind just sharing this? And before it was a lot more formal. Like you'd have to make like a post. You couldn't put it on your
mhm,
story.
yeah.
If you were
So that's that's good, man. So my number,
here,
what?
now it's a lot easier.
Yeah, now everyone's just doing it automatically. They're just sharing people's shit. But yeah, before you had to ask, and mine's kind of similar to yours, but different. So my number one, and it's not, this one's not in order. Um, my number one is I didn't network enough in the beginning, right? So it's kind of not social network, just more network in person. So, like I'm newer here. I was newer here at the time in Arizona, and I didn't have a lot of friends. But I didn't go to like friends' parties. I didn't go out with but my friends. They'd invite me, hey, we're having people over, come. I'm like, who's there? They're like, oh, it's a bunch of people you don't know. So when I should have went, right? Like things like that, like get myself out more. I didn't do. And, I probably left a lot of business by not doing that.
Can you tell me a little bit more about networking opportunities? What do those look like in a place where you don't know anybody, in a city that you're still new to? What does the networking event look like? Where is it? How many people is it? How do you get invited? How do you find out about it? What can you tell me about the typical?
So there are network events like actual, set up to be a network event where it's different businesses, right? But I went to one. I did go to one, right? But what I realized, it was just a fucking high school kind of party where it's like everyone had the cliques, right? And then it's like you're there just passing out business cards. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm an insurance guy. Oh, here's my card. Okay, here, I'm a fucking this guy. Here's my card. That's all it was. And I was just like, it's just stupid, right? Like, I'm not going to do this. It's a waste of my time. But the networking should have been more on the friend side and going out more, being maybe even do some charitable stuff, right? Like get out there. Uh, I did speak at a kindergarten or second, third grade, no, third, fourth, fifth grade, no, sixth grade.
About what? Well,
Just like it was a career fair kind of thing, and I was able to speak in front of the class about my career and just give them some motivation or something like that. But I should have done more of just going out with buddies and going to their friend's house, right? Like, hey, we're having people over. If I can come watch the game. I was just like, nah.
Yeah, I want to stay home.
Yeah.
See, it's weird because now the more and more I feel comfortable in my industry, the more and more I don't want to network. I feel like networking to see how everybody else would come up to me. Like present that. Like I want to meet new people now for some odd reason. I feel like getting out there, but I meet so many. The thing is that you think you're meeting new people in the restaurant business. You're not. You're really not. You're just seeing new faces until you start meeting them and like taking the time to like really meet them. You ain't meeting shit, bro. You're just seeing people and saying hi. In networking, I realized that it's almost like people can sense that they want to meet you or not. Like I got to meet him because he's got a specific vibe to him or like a look on him. I got to know what he does. He looks aggressive. He must be in sales, or like he looks shy.
Yeah.
He must be like an attorney, or I don't know, just whatever. I want to network more for that in understanding people better.
Yeah, I want to network. I've been trying to network more for having resources more. That's a huge thing now, man, especially in real estate. Like I want to have a good contractor, right? Not for him to like use me for business. This is nothing for me to gain stuff. Like as far as more clients, it's more, I want to network more now to have a fucking great plumber, have a good attorney, real estate attorney, know a good accountant, So when someone asks me, I kind of have these things, and that's kind of what I've been doing more as far as networking, rather than like events to try to meet clients and shit. Like I don't.
More in the Home Depot parking lot lately.
No, my mentor used to
network. You know what I mean?
Well, he would be in the Home Depot parking lot passing out business cards. He's like, if you want to meet people who own homes, that's where they're going.
Fucking genius.
It really is. What?
Home Depot should charge people to hang out in that parking lot.
It literally is genius. Like literally anyone at Home Depot is either owns a home, because I rented for a while. I never went to Home Depot. Never.
The fucking landlord or maintenance.
Yeah. Now I own a home. I'm there all the time. And it's like either a contractor is there or a homeowner. That's it. It's fucking genius.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. If you're trying to find la creme de la creme of like do it yourself or like low grade, sort of like you need somebody really quick type of thing, they're there. They're there. Anyway, so
yeah. Next, what do you got?
All right, so this is a big one for me. It hits home because me and my dad used to get into it all the time regarding this. He always said that you don't put enough value on your product and your time. I always felt like I have to give out a deal. I have to give out a discount. And my dad was always like, no, like
Yeah. We thought like, no, you got to hook someone up to get. Yeah.
and he was always like, listen, you know everybody that walks through here. There's no need to give out a discount to everybody. So I always ran into this issue where I felt like the price, my own price, was too high because I didn't see the value in it. I undervaluated myself. You gotta really pump up the price that you set
Mhm.
on yourself.
Yeah.
That was a mistake I
That's
made.
that's huge. And I think a lot of people, well, I don't want to say a lot, but people do that. I did that a little bit. Well, I did do that. So that's huge, man. And it just comes from being the nice guy, right? Like that we've talked about in previous podcasts. And I think it's just not feeling we're worthy enough, maybe.
I, it's so upsetting too because we really are, and we really shouldn't be even talking about this right now. But it's truth.
But or is it an actual thing where like, hey, you got to prove yourself, right? You need some clients, right? So it's like you got to discount so people give you a chance, and that's how you gain experience. There's also that thought of school of thought as far as like you need someone to give you a chance. You need experience. The more experience you get, the more you could charge, right? Like there's lawyers who are really good, and there's lawyers who are amazing. They're going to charge a lot more than the lawyers that are just good.
Right. I just think that some people, when they start off, you got two different types of people. The let's say both of them don't have any experience at all. You got one group of people that's constantly trying to prove their value, and then the other one that just knows they're the shit because they played like varsity football. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
played varsity football, but that has nothing to do with being a fucking plumber. But they're just
But
it does.
yeah, like I know a lot of ex-athletes, like pro, like ball players, like if they get in real estate, they're just so much more like confident. Like they're just like,
Swag. They just have.
yeah.
Let's never talk about this after today, huh? Just
We'll delete this podcast after we publish it.
episode number 50X. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
number 2 is never fully feeling like I could charge full price.
Yeah. So number 2 for me is I have it written down. Okay. It's not spending enough money in marketing and advertising up front, like in the beginning. Like I'll dabble a little bit, right? Like throw my toes in the water, fucking, just test it a little bit instead of just going hard. Like just fucking right off the bat. Marketing, I think, is so important. And I slacked on that a lot. And that really slowed the process down and made the not success, but whatever I did, it just took a lot longer. It delayed the process, basically.
So I got 2 questions for you on that end. The first question I've got for you is, I guess, what was making you not want to explore marketing more, spending more? What was holding you back?
I was just scared because I didn't know, right? I didn't do enough research. I thought maybe like if I could do it without it, right? Like I'm like, oh, I could probably do it without spending the money. I was scared to spend. It was money. It was scarcity, right? So that's kind of what it was.
That you didn't know where to market yourself? Like you didn't know if it was Google ads that you should be focusing on, Facebook ads. Am I doing that?
Too? Yeah, like that too. It's like, which one do I use? And you just overthink it and overcomplicate it, then you don't do anything, right? Like it just.
Next question I had regarding that, marketing was never one of my strengths. Second question was how much do you think that you left on the table, knowing what you know now? How much do you think you left on the table by not marketing? So, in essence, if you were worried about spending, say, $5,000 a month, do you think that would have translated to like an extra $100,000 a year?
So if I remember my numbers right, I was spending like 1,000 a month, let's say, right? That's 12,000 a year, and that in turn brought me like 50,000, right? So that's a net of 30, like 40,000, let's say. So I left 40 grand, my first year on the table of income.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So a thousand, so 12,005. So the ROI is 500%.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm writing down really bad things about you right now.
Is it 500%?
Well, I just know that it sounds better if I say 500%.
It's a lot of percents. How about we leave it at that?
So you, on your list of things, we found a similarity that I would prefer that you stated the last thing on your list, and we can discuss in greater detail. What is this thing on your list that caught my attention?
So my number 3 or number 1, whatever you want to call it, is in the beginning, the mistake I was making was I was comparing myself to other people in my industry who are doing really well.
All right. So I want you to, I love that because there's so much to be talked about in that. I was literally talking to my competitor earlier today, and I had to tell him that I don't look at him as a competitor because you got CNN, you got Fox, you got ABC, you got yada, yada, yada. I want to talk about it on my end also afterwards, but tell me, please, how you viewed competition in the very beginning. How consuming was it? How much time you spend? What certain things did you take away? Tell me all about competition and how that affected you.
Yeah. And I'll tell you how I snapped out of it too. And it's so important to have fucking people around you that know what the hell's going on, dude. So the competition and paying too much attention to it was more like I'd be on social media. I see someone posting their success and I'm like, fuck, man, it would just ruin my day. I'm like, how did this person get that? How did they do this? How are they getting these clients? Like, it just would eat me up, man. And then like on our team of like 90 agents, or they every month they post the top 10 agents for sales. So you see that, you're like, how the fuck did they do it? What are they doing? So like 1 month some person's number 2 or 1, and you're like, what are you doing to be like so good? They tell you, you're like, all right, I'm gonna start doing this. Then next month someone else is number 1, you're like, what did you do? And you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this. It's just fucking never ending.
What would you pay attention to in particular? What like their marketing? So their social,
when like their actual sales, like how many they sold, basically. Just fucking eat at me.
Did you look at what they were wearing too? Like, fuck.
No. Oh yeah. Like sometimes, like, how did this fucker get that many sales wearing shorts and fucking sandals? It's terrible. But I snapped out of it.
Did you ever become friends with any of these people?
Oh, of course. And then you look back, you're like, I was such an idiot. And what snapped me out of it, so my coach / mentor, Scott, and I would tell him it eat me up, and he would just like tell me, he's like, shut up. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you have no idea how this person is getting deals. Like, they tell you something, but he's like, he's a big time coach for agents all across the country. He's like, there's agents who you see all these deals, their first year, they do 50 deals, they make 500,000 their first year, and you see that and it pisses you off, and you're like, how come they're doing 50? I can't do 10 my first year. And he's like, but did you know that they were in insurance sales for 20 years before that, and then when they moved to real estate, they just hit up their 10,000 person database that they knew, and that's how they got, like, he's like, there's usually something that, not luck, but something that makes it look like it's so easy, but it's like they have something that you cannot do. It's like an advantage, whether they have a brother who just bought, who's a big time investor, and they were just buying 100 properties. Like, that's it. Like, that's all it is.
How do you look at social media now?
I just look at it, and it's just like, I look at it and say, okay, 60% of what this person said is probably lying, makes it look like they're doing so good, but it's probably not. Because now at this point, it's like, after a few years of it, like in the beginning, you're going to do that, right? Because you're just like, you're seeing what other people do, so you think that's what you're supposed to do. But after, people who are still doing shit, it's like, you're not doing much. You're just, and the people who are actually doing really well, like fucking crushing it, and they do show, and I do see that, I'm just like happy for them. I'm like, that's fucking good, because I know the grind, right? So I'm like, fucking good for them, man. Like, they fucking grinded for that.
So I find it interesting in that, okay, I get what you're saying, and I completely agree. You shouldn't let competition get to you on a deeper level, like on like affect you mentally, like emotionally, right? Yeah. It should encourage you. It should always motivate you.
Not.
Let me give you I'm so happy we're cousins, Shant, because I'm with you. Let me give you a very, very practical and down-to-earth, sort of humbling experience.
Okay.
We opened Ani. I told you about this, but just as a reminder, we opened Ani in 2012. And in 2012, same year, our first competitor opened, right? Maybe half a mile down the street. It was another Armenian place. Name was Seta. And then another year after that, our next Armenian competitor opened another half a mile down the street. The name was Phoenix. Both these places within the last 3 or 4 years have shut down.
It's a shame.
It is a shame. However, at the time, I remember having a conversation with my father, and he was talking about what they're doing and who he saw, how much business it looked like they were doing. And I remember thinking to myself, why does any of this shit matter to me? I'm busy right now. I could care less if that person is busy. Come to find out, that person's not even busy. They were just serving coffee. And that coffee is really, really expensive that they make. So who gives a fuck?
But 2 questions. One of them just answer rapidly. But don't you think it's important to know if what competition is doing as far as like traffic, right? So business, like if they're not getting traffic, if you are, or if you're getting traffic, and they're like, just for like data purposes, don't you think it's important to know what they're doing?
Absolutely. You should know what they're in traffic.
Yeah. So that's it. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2, were you in the beginning, this would probably be a yes, but right now, if you saw them, or when they did go out of business, when it did happen, were you happy? Like, yes, their competition's gone, or were you like, damn, that sucks, dude?
No, because let me tell you a little bit about something about competition going out of business. There's a reason why your competition goes out of business. You've got to be very, very careful, and you've got to really get a grasp over what happened that caused that person to go out of business, because that person could be you.
Yeah.
Right? So if two of your competitors went out of business,
Scary.
very, very scary. I would much rather us be fighting neck and neck.
Yeah, with tons of like.
Right? Fighting over market share rather than fighting to stay alive. I liked it better when we did have the competition because it gave us a reference point. See, now people don't talk about the competition anymore. People are talking about, oh, I ordered from them and they were on DoorDash and I was able to order from 3 towns away. So now I'm like, all right, am I even competing locally anymore? What am I even doing? This guy is ordering food from downtown Boston. If I go out of business, it's not gonna change this guy's life anymore.
No.
So that for me is very, very scary. I am paying attention to my competition in the opposite way now than I was before. I need that competition to stay in business. And I need that competition to continually do things so that I can use that as a reference point for what I'm doing, Shant.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, I get it. People don't understand, man. If you don't have any competition, that's not a good sign.
It's not. Right now, I remember I was telling you, I wish I had competition on YouTube for somebody doing my same thing. There is, and they're growing rapidly, and it's making me want to like make content, make more and more videos. I haven't made this many videos since I first really started getting traction last year.
Yeah.
Because now I have a competitor. Like I was on a call with them a couple hours ago.
Oh, wow.
Like YouTube. And that's how I approach competition now. Is that I want to be friendly. I want to realize, I want to let you know, listen, I don't view you as competition. I view you as an equal sharing market.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
So. Good talk, man.
Yeah, and right on time.
What's Leo doing? Is he drinking?
He's crying right now.
You guys take beer or something? What's going on?
Got to give him some Ori.
He's so cute. Little shit.
He was my dad the other day. We were at his house, and like my dad was all up in his face, like yelling at him, right? Like, you know how my dad is, just talking shit. And Leo was just looking at him with a mean face, like for just 5 minutes straight, just like looking at him like just my face. And then he would look at me like, you're letting this guy.
You're allowing this?
And he just like just looking at him angrily, like just fucking pissed. And it was just fucking great. And then like once Betty took him away, he started smiling again. And I was just like, wow, he fucking hates you, Dad.
Good work. Good work.
You got to shave your mustache, I guess. Like he doesn't.
I keep forgetting he has a mustache, man. Why does everybody have a mustache in our family, man?
We're going to have one. You know that, right? Like
I got to make a promise to my father. When he passes, I'm taking over.
I don't know. I don't know if I could do it, man.
Just imagine me right now with a...
I don't know. I don't think I could do it.
You could do it.
I like the goat. I've had the goatee for like
10 years now.
10 years more. Just solid. That's it.
Who do you do this with a straight edge?
No, I just with the Mach 3. Just
looks good.
10 years of practice, bro. It's fucking
true. You fucked it up so many times, bro.
Yeah. Fucking
love it.
All right. Well, I gotta go. Look at my baby that's crying right now.
Bitch ass. Fucking cute.
All right.
Cute kid. All right. Good night, Shant.
Good night, everyone.